Hey everybody, welcome into the Friday Five. Chip Walters here from Exit Realty Bob Lamb and Associates, and heading into the Independence Day weekend, we're going to call this the Life, Liberty, and Pursuit of Happiness edition of the Friday Five. And the man on the left side of your screen to my right is Dallas Williams, and Dallas has a secret that we're going to let out here in just a moment. But Dallas is a big Blue Raider fan. That's how we cross paths. And tell folks a little, give them your elevator speech of who you are.
Sure. So I attended MTSU from 1996 to 2000, graduated in May 2000, and like everyone else, started pursuing life post-college and spent 20 years in corporate America. And, in the last couple of years, I really realized I want to do something a little different with my life and live a little bit more purpose-driven life than what I have been over the last 20 years in corporate America. Incredibly grateful for my time that I had and the experiences I had, but I just wanted to try something different. So with that, I decided to step away from my career back in December of 2019 to go out and hike the Appalachian Trail in 2020, which is a footpath from Georgia to Maine that I'm on the journey of doing right now.
And that is the secret that we're letting out of the bag. Is Dallas is on the Appalachian Trail, and when we talk about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and also in this era of social distancing, hey, you are living life to the fullest. You are enjoying your liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is there. And I'm not sure how anywhere in the country you could be more socially distant than where you are. First of all, tell folks where you are right now as we record this, and how far into the 2,190 miles that make up the Appalachian Trail that you are.
Sure. So I'm in Waynesboro, Virginia, a small trail town in Northern Virginia. I am 865 miles into the journey. The beauty of Waynesboro is it's a big stopping point on the Appalachian Trail, because starting tomorrow, I will enter the Shenandoah National Park, which is one of the more picturesque and beauty areas within the trail. So I am now over a third complete with the trail, and we'll soon be crossing the 900-mile mark and ending Virginia here in the next week or two.
So did you start in Georgia, or did you start in Maine?
I started in Georgia. The traditional route, so to speak, is Georgia to Maine, going northbound, or as people call it here on the trail, Novo. So that's what I did. I started Springer Mountain, Georgia. Probably had a little bit different experience than a typical year. I think, as we all know, 2020 has been anything but typical. So I started in late February 22nd, and was on the trail for a little over a month. Made it through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which is a big benchmark from the south, because it's a very difficult stretch. And then it's when all the coronavirus started spreading and hitting within the U.S. So the Appalachian Trail Conservancy asked us all to get off the trail, and which I respect their perspective as protectors of the trail and protectors of the thru hikers and the trail communities. So I got off the trail for about 2 months, and got back on the trail Memorial Day. So 5 weeks ago yesterday, I got back on the trail.
Okay, so you are, for the most part, you are on schedule.
Yes.
It's just that you had to take a 2-month break in there for
Right.
reasons beyond your control.
Sure, absolutely, and on schedule. I hope so. So we do have to finish. I say we, meaning the thru hiker community. We have to finish in Maine by October 15th, because they do close down the summit where you end October 15th because of potential weather. But at this point, I am on schedule, so to speak. As long as these old legs can take me. I'm a little older than the average person out here, so I'm doing my best to keep up.
Well, now you talked about how you were in corporate America for 20 years. It's a very nice luxury to be able to make the decision you made, to whether you're saying you took a year off or whatever. Here's a year of adjustment in your life.
Sure.
Take me through the thought process of getting out of that and saying, okay, I want to go walk 2,200 miles. I mean, like Forrest, I keep thinking of Forrest Gump as he was on the coast.
Yeah, so it was definitely a process. To your point, it's a real blessing to be able to be in a position to make the decision. Um, but ultimately, I got to a point within my career where I felt like there was an opportunity for me again to live a little bit more purpose-driven life, and um, but I wasn't really for sure what that is and or what that looks like for the next chapter of my life, which was really the intent for me of the Appalachian Trail. It's 2,200 miles. There's an opportunity. There's a lot of think time
Yeah.
in that in those steps. For me, it actually worked out beautifully. The organization I was working for, they sold the division that I worked for, and so it was just a matter of me, having a conversation with our leadership team and saying, the end of the journey for our organization is the end of my journey as well. I do not want to be a part of the new organization. I want to go pursue a different path and figure out what that path is. So that's a long, laborious answer
Yeah.
to how I got to where I am, but it wasn't an easy process. I mean, 20 years deep in a career, it's not an easy process to get to there. And I think some of my family and friends maybe think I'm a little crazy for stepping away, which, rightfully so. But, as the great Waylon Jennings once said, I've always been crazy, but it kept me from going insane.
That's,
It's probably a little bit, non-traditional decision I made, but I've really enjoyed the opportunity to be out here and reflect deeply on, the next chapter of life, where I'm coming from and where I'm going.
yeah. And well, you've had about 3 months, I guess, of think time, and maybe
Yes,
sometime in 6 months or so from now, we'll have the answer to what the next part of that journey is. But
sure.
talk to me about uh, the 3 months that you've had on the trail so far, and how you have embraced um, the solitude, because we're all in a very, you know, give me this right now kind of world. And boy, and that to me just sounds so nice.
It really is. It's you kind of get out of the to use a traditional term, rat race, so to speak, and always chasing the next thing in your life, and you really learn to be present in the moment. And for me, I think that's one of my biggest takeaways from the trail is always being fully engaged and present in the moment. You still get those moments of immediate gratification out here as you make a 3,000 or 4,000 foot climb that in the moment seems grueling, but you get to the top and you have, this just amazing 360 panoramic views of, of God's great creation. It is, you do get those moments of immediate gratification, but that's what I've learned is you really be present in the moment. And my other big takeaway from the trail is just how many amazing people there are in this world. People are really good, and I've met so many people along the journey, whether it be simply in a trail town, doing a resupply, or someone noticing that I'm trying to get to a trail town for a resupply. It's pouring rain, and they offer to give me a ride in town. Or just fellow hikers that I've met along the journey. It's been really, I shouldn't say, it's really reinforced to me, how many great people there are out there in this world.
Yeah. The in the Appalachian Trail, it's the longest uh, hike only footpath in the world. I've had friends who have done the Camino in Spain,
Oh, yeah.
and they talk about how freeing it is to be able to do that. And you're experiencing that right now. Do you feel like you're going to come out a different person on the end of this? Maybe more patient with. I don't know. What do you hope to gain?
Yeah, it's a great question, Chip. Again, part of it is just simply being present in the moment. I was one of those people, admittedly so, that within my day-to-day life in corporate America, I was always thinking 3 steps ahead, as I think we all were. And you complete this immediate task, and you're already looking for 2 years ahead of time,
Mhm.
so to speak. But so I've learned a lot of patience. I've learned about simplicity as well. And when everything you have for the trail is on your back, and you really do learn to enjoy and appreciate the simple things in life. And being patient with yourself, because I am one of those people that I actually planned the entire trail all the way out from Georgia to Maine, and that plan went out the door on the third day. And so, you learn to be agile and adjust, and be patient with the world and with yourself, and again, just simply be present in the moment, and living each moment to its fullest.
Well, speaking of planning, we had to plan a time for you to be in the presence of some Wi-Fi to do this.
Yes.
And we're doing this on Tuesday before Independence Weekend. Speaking of plans, what is your plan? Where will you be on the 4th of July? And to have a different perspective on this great country than most everybody else in the country on that day?
I will be in the Shenandoah National Forest. I am actually planning to take a day off from hiking for the 4th of July, and we'll actually be kayaking through the James River through the Shenandoah National Forest, and just spending time completely immersed in nature. And I'm hoping somehow, some way, there's some shape, form, or fashion with fireworks somewhere throughout the park. I doubt there will be, but that's where I will be. I will be in the middle of Shenandoah National Forest.
Well, not everybody in the country is going to have the views that you're going to have.
Sure.
Because nothing out there is going to be man-made other than maybe your kayak and what you happen to have on your back. But really, I just happened to see a Facebook post with a couple of photographs, and man, it's something that I think a lot of people would love to have the opportunity to do, but not everybody can do that and take that much time off. You're very, very lucky, and the thing is, I think you really realize that, and for that, I congratulate you very much.
Thanks, Chip. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it has been a blessing. And, there are times, quite honestly, to that point, that I don't feel like I'm hiking just for myself. I actually feel like I'm hiking for a lot of my loved ones, my family and friends who, I don't want to say necessarily living vicariously through me, but, but they really have joined along this journey with me, and the amazing support that they've all provided. So, it's been a blessing.
If people wanted to follow your journey, are you doing anything? Are you doing any blogging, or just throwing some photos up on your Facebook page, or how are you going about that?
Yeah, the biggest way, it was a tough decision back and forth whether to blog or not, but I really decided to go the Instagram route. So you can find me on Instagram, Tennessee Outdoors Guy, TN Outdoors Guy, Dallas Williams, and you can find me on there. I'm posting pictures of each section that I complete. So that'll range for anywhere between 40 to 100-mile sections, and try to post the highlights from those sections. And I do try my best to truly share the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it's easy to romanticize everything, but try to share it all so people can truly join the journey with me. And I do my best to try to capture the moment with some of those pictures, and hopefully share the moment that I'm in. So.
Well, I tell you, we wish you all the best of luck, because you'll need
Thank
it
you.
along the trail. I wish you
Yes, I do.
I wish you the best of health along the trail. And, as I've been telling everybody lately, take care of yourself and be nice to other people, because right now, I think that's the best two things that we can do in our country, just to kind of keep it simple. Celebrate the 244th birthday for all of us in the Shenandoah National Forest. And thank you for taking time today.
Thanks, Chip. I appreciate it. Go Blue Raiders.
Thank you. Dallas Williams joining us today on the Friday Five. You can catch my website at GoBlueRaider, or at GoBlueRaiders.com, but also ChooseChip.net. We'll have something else real good for you here in the very distant future. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Stay healthy and be good to each other.